Hey YouTube, it's Rob. 104 years ago, a theory was born called plate tectonics, and it was based upon observable evidence, not from a satellite, but from maps and boats and ships. And what they noticed is that South America, its coastline resembled Africa's coastline. And so then they put two and two together and they said, that's it right there. Look at that. Well, that doesn't really impress me, but of course they can say that, erosion, a lot of erosions takes place in 4.6 billion years. They're not going to be exactly alike, but you can see that the similarities are there. Okay. And the trolls completely believe that. Totally acceptable to them. Why? Well, because someone of authority told them so. Good as gold. Let's put all our beliefs into that. Well, let me show you some of my alignments, and I want to talk about some of the comments that I've been getting. I get a lot of cruel comments from people, and it's okay. I mean, don't worry about it. There's a difference from when like you're right, and then people attack you because they believe you're wrong. Well, it doesn't bother you as much because in the end, exactly how this is going to end. And I'm going to show you that it's just too easy for me to discredit plate tectonics for me to be wrong. It's obviously too hard for trolls to discredit me because none of them have. No one has yet, and I'm not just leaving it up to the trolls. Even regular people that ask really interesting questions and all that. I want everybody to give it a shot. Go ahead, do your own overlays, and come back and tell me I'm full of shit. But they won't even do that. So let me show you something though about the difference in quality from this observable evidence to a more modern version. Here we have the Pacific Ocean, and according to plate tectonics, we have what they call the Pacific Plate. Underneath this ocean there is a giant plate. Okay, and this giant plate looks like it takes up almost half the planet. So this giant plate that takes up almost half the planet is somehow being crammed beneath this plate right here, because, well, this land feature is obviously higher, so it must be going underneath. Case closed. Well, there's a lot more going on here than you could, that should be ignored. I mean, that shouldn't be ignored here. You have this Hawaiian island chain, which I've already had people tell me that my alignments with Hawaii and Yellowstone cannot be factual because, Hawaii was created by a hotspot. Well, that's actually not true. That hotspot isn't even really a theory because it has no facts to even support it. Their only fact is that the volcano is hot and that there's a line of islands going this direction. So therefore, that's because this plate is moving this direction, and there's a hot spot here, and apparently this plate was over here when it first started getting hot, and it gets hotter and hotter. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Okay, because a plume of hot molten magma is what they would think is what they think creates a hot spot, right? So one, they couldn't explain where the plume came from. So why even bother inventing such a ridiculous fictional theory? So when heat rises and it hits an impenetrable area, the first thing it does is it spreads out in all directions. Okay, it doesn't just sit there and burn a tight little hole like a laser beam. It spreads out and it diffuses. Okay, So therefore it doesn't even make rational, logical sense. But again, people believe it right off the bat. Why? Because a figure of authority on the planet told them so. Okay, well, what makes these people a figure of authority is the government. The government gives them a piece of paper that says, you can tell anybody how this planet, was created or whatever you want, and you're the man. Well, so I don't buy into that. And I want to show you why. Also, I want to show you, I got to tell you about the mean comments I get from a lot of people that supposedly know more than I do about any of this. And I get told stuff like, your theory makes no sense, it's garbage, you're a moron, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, plate tectonics knows everything, leave it up to the scientists to figure out. And and it goes on and on. I've had people tell me I don't know anything about plate tectonics. Then I've had people tell me that I have no business theorizing anything. Just stick to my alignments and shut up. Okay? And all kinds of crazy ass shit, man. People are crazy. And let me show you something. You would think that these features on the Pacific Ocean floor would be A1 important and worthy of investigating. Okay? If I was a seismologist or a geologist, I would focus in on this right away. This is significant. It's a huge marking on our planet. And markings can reveal where they came from. It's just that easy. It really is this easy. It really is this easy for me to discredit plate tectonics. And it really is impossible for the troll community to discredit me in any of this. So anyways, I'm going to show you something, okay? This is observable. You see how this has a lip right here? You see how this has a lip right here? Well, they align. And what proves that this is a real legitimate alignment is that when I align them here, they align with other features. And that proves that the alignment is genuine. Okay? There's no person that can prove that otherwise, I guarantee that. Okay, you can see that this aligns right there. And then, of course, there'll be other alignments. There's always other alignments. But, okay, what you could see is that this is here, and then this is here aligning. But let me do it on this other one because it's easier to see. So, you can see that this is alignment. You can see that the width right here matches the width right there. You can see that the background features are lining up with other areas. You can actually tell that this went like this. Okay? This is a subduction zone. If this is subducting underneath here and here, how can this line up on both sides with features embedded in the surface? This right here is observable evidence that simply discredits plate tectonics. This is not a subduction zone. It can't be, it never was, and it never will be. And I'm sorry, but the trolls just they have no possible way of discrediting what I'm telling them. Anyways, so let me go further on. What's amazing about my overlays and alignments is that they tell a story when you simply move them like that. You see that? You see how that you got this shape right here and this line? Like that. Splitting, right? You can see that something's being split in half. Just by looking at the surface features, you can see that. Almost deliberately. See how this curls around and fits into the markings there? That is the result of rotation. This is why you got all this debris scattered everywhere. It's spinning. Okay? You see the shape of this? And it's spinning? There's very few things that do that. And that is factual. Look at the alignment. Discredit my alignment. See that? Okay. I've been told I'm a moron because of what I'm suggesting here. And you can see how this fits into there. This can't be discredited by anybody. I'm not cocky. I'm being honest because I know what I'm talking about. You see that? You can see how similarities now are playing into other landforms here. Remember, this is plate tectonics. Oh, hallelujah. We've discovered how the planet was created. Okay, this is not supported by plate tectonics right here because right there it discredits subduction zones. And also discredits Hawaii being a hot spot from a plate moving above it. Hotspots prove me wrong. No, they don't. I just proved hotspots are wrong. Look, you can see it with your own eyes. Call me all the names you want. You can't discredit it. It lines up. Right there. Okay, and then you see this lip, right? Well, you got one here now. What does that mean? Well, I'm going to guess that it means that this flipped around the other way. Like this. And here's our rotating electromagnetism at work, creating our planet. You can see the alignments again. It's that simple. How can I simply discredit plate tectonics this easily if I'm wrong? Trolls, I mean, I hate talking about them, but they are part of this whole thing. And they can't discredit me, but I can discredit plate tectonics without hardly blinking. I mean, that's how easy it is for me. I think I have a harder time blinking. Look, the alignment again, reversed, lining up again. What the hell's going on? This cannot be in plate tectonics, so that doesn't make my alignments invalid. My alignments make plate tectonics invalid, and that's a fact. Look how that lines up now with the other features. Reversed. So this fits in here upside down, but then right side up, this fits in here. So what happens if I take this and I flip it around here? Guess what? Logical order is what's going to happen. Something else that plate tectonics seems to lack. It's that easy for me. And it always has been that easy for me from the beginning. It's just, I mean, this is difficult to track down, but once I tracked it down, it's just easy to figure out that this is a vortex. And despite what's been said about my ability to theorize and all that, I can guarantee you there's a reason why I found this in the first place. Because all of that's been said about me isn't true. The delusion is the other way around. The delusion is on the people that want to believe in plate tectonics. They suffer. It's called normalcy biased, and it really does limit your ability to see reality the way it is, or closer to the way it is. And but normalcy biased people will go around telling the people that are seeing it correctly that they're the ones that are crazy, because they are obviously normal, because most of society backs what they believe. So that makes them right and everybody else wrong. Well, no, it doesn't. It just makes you normalcy biased, and makes people like me see through the BS easier. This is why I can challenge trolls the way I do, because I know what I'm saying. They can't discredit me because they're normalcy biased, and they don't realize that they don't have a chance in hell of discrediting me. So they have to resort to name calling. Look at that. This gets better and better. The other thing I wanted to point out is that let's see. Well, you also have a lip in Australia. But when you move it up here, you can see that there is similarities. Okay. You see Australia fits both ways too. Like that. Oh no, that's impossible. Because plate tectonics says you can't do that. Well, I just showed you I can. See how that fits there? Well, let's take the other one. Guess what? It fits the other way too. Like that. What? Nope. You can't, because that's a subduction zone. Well, this is not a subduction zone. That's why I can line these up. If it was a real subduction zone, there'd be no alignments here that I could make. Guess which one gets thrown out? Okay, so what else we got? Uh-oh. What's going on here? Okay. Okay, so I showed you how Australia lines up in here reversed. What about upside down? Uh-oh, what's that? This is impossible. How can Australia line up on both sides reversed and then upside down in the same area? Oh, this can't be right, because plate tectonic does not support this. Well, let's see what else is going on here. See how these align up? I do this all day long. I see this all the time. Here's our little tunnel. And it kind of makes absolute sense that it's a tunnel because you can see stuff is swirling into it or out of it. Okay, I get a lot of shit for making such crazy comments. I mean, but yet look at my alignment. I'm a guy that's finding these alignments and making sense out of them, but I'm not good enough to theorize any of it because for some reason other people know that I just don't know what I'm talking about. They can't prove it, but they just know. That's all that counts. So anyways, so you can still see these alignments. I may not point out every one, so you'll probably see a bunch I don't even talk about, because that's how the truth works. The more you analyze it, the more evidence comes out that supports it. This does not happen with plate tectonics. Plate tectonics has to create new fictional theories to compensate for the shit that doesn't make sense. And it's so easy to point out the stuff that doesn't make sense. It just really is. Anyways, I'm sorry about talking so much. I know when I watch these videos, I can't even stand hearing me talk about it. So, here we go. Australia. Yeah, I get people telling me that that I suffer from the same thing that other people suffer when they see faces in clouds and stuff like that. Except for one thing that's different though. These aren't clouds and these aren't faces. These are other surface features from other areas of our planet. And they are lining up physically, not mentally, with these features on the other side of the planet. So you see what I deal with? God damn. And these people are telling me I'm stupid. Okay, so you see, if these alignments weren't enough over here, well, because they're reoccurring patterns, well, I just move them over and show you where they line up in other places too. Like Alaska. See how this whips around? Well, guess what? I can tell you why it whips around. Because there was a tunnel here. And this is a rotation. This may be reoccurring, by the way, and the only reason that it's not doing the same thing like it did in these features is because the planet's larger. So I think this is from a polar flip, and I think back when the Earth was smaller, this polar flip caused all this, I mean, just havoc, increased the planet size, because people, you know, our science really doesn't know everything, and they really don't know for fact how matter is created. Okay? There may be a reason why there's a planet right here, and it may be increasing with its size because this might be a point of origin where matter is created. Okay? And when these poles flip, there could be other deeper scientific meaning of what's going on than just a simple pole flip. There might be a reversal in time. Who knows how something this drastic would affect our reality. And so you really can't believe you can't believe any of the science, in my opinion, that's mainstream. I think it's all bad. I think it's all junk science, and they're not using scientific method, and people just don't seem to care. So anyways, fuck. It's funny. I get a lot of people. Well, a few people, not a lot, that try to come here. I don't know if someone sent them or to come put me in my place. I've had people from geological forums try to come here and tell me what's up and whatever, and none of them proved anything or any whatever. But I get told like about igneous intrusions, and then that are buried, whether it's basalt or whatever, and then weathered away to expose the mountains, like the Cascadian mountain ranges. I guess they were covered at one time, and I guess the rain and just washed all that away to expose them. And I try to tell these people that makes no sense actually, and it doesn't. But then they'll say, well, well, that's where sand comes from, right? Because sand is made from water erosion, and then it's blown with the wind, and water carries it down to the shorelines, and all this bullshit, right? And that's funny because I'll be honest, that now the more I look at Mars, to me it looks like the whole surface has been gouged off. And that's why it's completely covered in sand. That's my opinion. That's what it looks like. You don't see any lips like layers like this. Well, that I can tell because of NASA's artwork here with their drawings. And it's kind of hard to actually see a reoccurring pattern when you got all these lines there. Feature. It's just so funny. Like I can never get over this. When I look at Mars and I see that here they've taken satellite images with this matrix crap on it, right? And then they went ahead and just decided to go ahead and color it in for you for whatever reason. And when they color it in, they just went ahead and colored in the way the matrix things why not just go ahead and blend it in for us there, guys? I mean, is it going to be harder to just blend it all together? I think it would save you a lot of crayons that way, because you wouldn't have to change them and change the colors and the darkness and to match it. That's just so stupid. None of this is logical in any way. And people buy it. They accept it. They're like, well, they must have their reasons for this. Well, yeah, censorship. This is a good way to cover up something. And if I'm just being paranoid, well then go ahead and give us the real image. How about that? How about a real photograph? And then I won't be so paranoid, will I? I could be wrong here actually. There could be some similarities, and that channel Moons Hits Earth, he notes a lot of the similarities between the planets, and he'd be a great source to check on this, because believe it or not, for some reason I all of a sudden am starting to see some similarities of images on Earth that resemble some of this on Mars. I'm just trying to be honest, and I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. I have no problem with that, believe it or not. Oh, one last thing before I go, and this is just part one of the big video. And I get comments that sand is made by water erosion. Well, you look at Mars, there is no water, but all you see is sand everywhere. Okay? Just maybe, if there's no water on Mars and a lot of sand on it, that maybe the sand on Earth isn't from water erosion. Imagine that. Imagine if there was a force that could make sand and it didn't take 4.6 billion years to do. It could do it as it's gouging out the craters. I mean, it's common sense, and it really is a no-brainer. And there are people that just believe this complete absolute lie. And you know, it's just so easy to see the truth once you just give up on, you know, let go of the ego, realize that your views are wrong, and it's so much better just to turn around and go for the right one. I wouldn't sit there and defend a lie with tooth and nail because my ego depended on it. I'm one of those people. I'll admit I'm wrong the second I realize I'm wrong. The sooner the better, actually. So, where's all the water that did this? Mars looks like a crime scene. It looks like the whole surface has been gouged away, and it looks like a lot of, to me it looks like evidence just been destroyed, because it makes no sense that a planet would be this gouged. It just doesn't make any sense at all, actually. Anyways, oh yeah, Doug, prove any one of my alignments in this video is wrong. Any one of them. Oh, and then go ahead and admit that you can't see them either, because that'll be good. Everybody else, thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. The next video is, of course, going to be even more better stuff, because this is just the beginning of the big videos.